episode 2, we're getting straight on with this. Well, what you just seen me doing, taking apart the wishbones, taking apart, took the jig off the gearbox bell housing mount, and then took the wishbones apart from the uprights. So the plan is to now mock up these 4 points. This is the unknown, as we know, from the last one, but is it here, not a question mark. We've got these two, we're going to try and find this one. What I've got are these. These are Miguel setup sheets, and what I have here are the angles. So I know that this is forward, going this way, so in fact there should be the other way around to that, but I know where those two should be. Those are known. I know the angles required for these, for the setup. All I need to do is figure out what Rob did before, who was the previous owner of the car, figure out which one of these to use, and then I can measure it. So I can use the jig, I can put it all together, I can measure the distance, use the wishbone to find out the distance, and then measure the angle from this point at level. So the dilemma I've been having is, I mean, how gash does that look? It's just got a bit of wood, I could measure these angles and stuff, but you know, how do I actually know? Am I going to get this right? So what I'm going to do, put the other wishbone in the other side, which should, you could end up with a rhombus, but you're going to end up with a square side, so there it's going to pivot. What you do then, 2 flat edges, G-clamp them on, so they can't help but be flat. And then, got 3 bolts here, where the gearbox mounts to. I'll put a plate across here, and that plate will grow to here, to these points here. So I then can check that that's square. Then I can get rid of this. Yes, can I get rid of this? I'll have to figure that out. Need to figure that out still. Because what I'll be able to do then, hopefully, we'll be able to get rid of this, stick our jig in here, grow what we build here to the jig, and then I'll have 3 points. And I'm almost there then. That's the plan anyway. So it has worked pretty well, actually. Those are 2 nice and straight. I've cut them up. But the problem we actually have is they aren't, you can see there's an air gap there. That's not quite straight. And that there isn't quite straight either. But the problem is twisting it to make it straight, it seems to just bounce back to that, as if something's not quite right with something. So I'm just going to try and figure out how to fix that. So what I've tried, ratchet strap. I'll tell you what, it actually has worked a little bit, but there's a tiny air gap still, so I'm not happy. That is not square yet. Very simple solution in the end. One of these chippies clamps has pulled it perfectly square. Both sides are sat really flush now, so I'm happy with that. So the plan now, I'm going to make a bar. So the plan now, 3 holes in a bar, flush, weld the bar to these points here, triangulate, probably come across here, chop, and then put the jig on. Hopefully we should be winning by that point. Cool, so that's the plate made. I've put that on another bell housing that I've got. I have 2. So next plan, transfer that plate onto the bell housing, start growing some bits off it. So next, we chop these either side, connect our original jig, which is the first part of the jig, that'll sit on. We'll connect that to that. And then at that point, what we have is 3 of the 4 wishbone mount points. I'm calling it a day at that today. We're starting to get there now. This is proper cooking. Once we've finished the jig, we can actually start building it. We've got a load of bushes on the way. What's the guy's name? Wait there. Got the guy's name here. Here we go. The Lathe Man. He's on eBay. He's by far the cheapest for bushes. So when they arrive and all the bolts, we can use those to start creating the actual rear framework once the jig's finished. That's the plan. But the next video or next episode will be jig on, connected to this bit that we've created today. And that's as far as I've got, really. So that's it for today. I hope you guys like the video. If you do, subscribe, like it, share with your mates, show them how much of an idiot I sound like, how weird my voice is. And we'll keep building this car.